There we go. Okay. You can take your mask off.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
No. Okay, well, we are so excited to have y'all here today. We're very excited to have Kameron here. I'm Kim, and this is our first event back that is live, so our first lunch and learn. But there's also people joining us on Facebook Live and Instagram Live, so we're so glad that y'all are here, and we're excited to have Kameron. So first, I just wanted to tell y'all, I know some of you are new, some of you are not, but we are a co-working space. And we are running a summer special this month, so it is buy 1 month, get the next month free for May and June. And we have just expanded, well, I say just, we expanded last March, right before the shutdown. So, but now we have this large event space, and we have co-working space on the other side as well, so afterwards feel free to take a tour through. And also we started a virtual networking group. So if you are interested in networking with other people, other different types of business owners around our city, it meets weekly. You do not have to attend weekly. It's come and go as as what works in your schedule, but we have it weekly just for that consistent meeting. And you can find out about it on our website, workatforge.com, connect. But we will follow up with an email with all the information. But it has been really, really great so far. If you are a Forge member, it's free. If you're not a Forge member, it's just $25 a month. And it's just a great way to build relationships with people doing different things in the city. So today we're very excited to have Kameron. Kameron is gonna, if you do not follow Kameron on Instagram or YouTube, or TikTok, or LinkedIn, yeah, you are missing out. She is a genius and very good at what she does. So I will let you tell us what you do, and then we'll learn all about Reels. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, seriously, check out Forge. It's been a game changer for me. So hello, my name is Kameron. You can follow me on my social media platforms at Kameron Monet. I am an attorney, content creator, entrepreneur, daughter, girlfriend, all the things. I love everything about social media. I've been in the social media space for 6+ years. I started on YouTube, still love that platform. But Instagram has so many different tools and features, such as Reels, which I personally love because I think video content translates the best when it comes to leveraging clients or just naturally getting to know their colleagues, friends, family. I just think video content definitely translates well. So, enough about me, because I love about me later. And we're going to have a Q&A. So if something comes up when I'm showing on my PowerPoint, don't hesitate to raise your hand and I'll definitely get to you, but I'm going to have a Q&A segment at the end. So let's talk about Instagram Reels. But first, for those of you that just don't know what Instagram is, so I did want to put up a slide about the basics of what is Instagram. So it is a social media platform, as we know. We know we have YouTube, we have TikTok now, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, all these other platforms. But something that I love about Instagram is that you can directly talk to people. So whether it's direct messages, that's a feature that YouTube just doesn't have. Or when you're sorting through comments, you can pin comments, all these different ways you can directly engage with people. And as business owners, that's really important because people buy from people, as we know. So I love Instagram. I say it's your virtual business card because I truly believe that's what it is. And really any social media space. I know a lot of us think of LinkedIn when we think of like a professional platform, but Instagram is definitely a professional platform as well. It's all about just how you use it. So we're going to talk about a little bit more about how you can use it and why you should be using specifically Instagram Reels, but Instagram in general. I want to know who has an Instagram account, whether it's for personal or business. Okay, everybody. See, we love it here. So now we're going to talk about the benefits. So these are just a few. There are so many benefits just to be on social media nowadays. I think we all can contest that last year we all was at the house. We were not outside. So with that being said, we realized like we need to be online. We need to have a social presence in some sense. Even if it's just you're talking to your family that's across the country, you're talking to your friends that's in another state, you need to have a digital presence. And as a business owner, you're missing out on a lot of extra money, a lot of extra income. Think about it. If you give a business card over to one person in person, that's one person. They may drop it, it may end up in the trash, okay, accidentally, or we lose it in the car or something. But if you're online on social media, you can constantly refer back to that business card, refer back to your profile. So some of the benefits of Instagram are easy to target your audience and clientele, which exactly, you can use hashtags, whether you're looking up. For me, when I moved to Birmingham, I was like, let me see what the creative space is looking like. The first thing I did is I went to Instagram and I looked up Birmingham blogger hashtag. That's the first thing I did, and I found so many creatives just to start to build that network there. Perks of using virtual marketing features offered by Instagram. Instagram alone, like I said, has so many different features within the platform that allow you to access so many different avenues of marketing and advertising just by simply being on the platform, and Reels is one of those features. Position and establish yourself as an expert in your field online. Like I said, we're all online. There's no greater feeling than being the go-to person online in some type of industry. Whether you are a hairstylist and you're located in Birmingham and you're like, okay, I just moved to Birmingham, I need to build a clientele, what can I do? Use those hashtags, follow specific accounts that are getting their hair done in that industry, meet other colleagues that are also in that industry. And then the more you do that, the more you talk about a specific topic. Maybe you're the person that, okay, I know she was always gonna come through with the video content, and I know she's also going to provide value in X industry. So then now you become that go-to person online. So when someone is talking about you in real life or online, they're going to automatically show your profile. People do that with me all the time, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Also, ongoing customer research. And by this, I mean you have a plethora of data online. Like the extent to which you can trial and error with different things is really, there's no price on it. Because say I want to promote a t-shirt line, I can test it out on Instagram just to see if people even like the post, or if they even share the post, or if they even comment about the post. And that alone can show me, okay, I definitely need to sell 10 times the amount of this specific shirt versus this specific style because I'm not getting the same feedback. So that's why I love social media. When just doing even research, even if you don't even decide to promote online or have an online store, getting that research online and then putting it into like a brick and mortar store or whatever the case may be is going to excel your business tenfold. And then like I said, people buy from people. And that's why I love Reels, that's why I love behind the scene content. Just like I was doing when I was just walking up and showing what I was doing, people love to see what the business owner is doing, what the company is doing, what the employees are doing, because then they get invested not only in your story, but then in your business, and then they buy from you because they trust you. So I have a few screenshots during this. I feel like this is the best way to kind of see what I'm talking about. I'm not flexing, I promise, but look at the following. No, I'm just flexing. So this is a screenshot of what Instagram, the feature on Instagram looks like. So this is just the profile. This is what you're working with on Instagram. So I'm just going to talk about a few of the tools and their different features that come along with Instagram, just so everybody's aware and how to use those. So first, of course, you have the profile picture. You see the red circle around that? That's indicating that I have a story, right? So what a story is, it's a 24-hour video segment. So we call them story frames in the influencer industry. So you click that, and then you get to see the various different types of pieces of video within the story, up to 15 seconds. You can do an hour long if you like, but then it's too many tips. I forgot to do the screenshot, but I'm sure we've seen some people's stories, and you click and you're like, now wait a minute. Click, swipe. I'm not looking at the rest. Then, of course, you have all the metrics up there. You have the bio. One of the most important things on your Instagram profile, no matter how you're using your Instagram page, is your bio. You want to know immediately, what is this person talking about? Am I interested in what they're talking about? Do I need to even follow them, or what do I even want to go ahead and see what photos they have? A lot of times people stop here up and don't even get to this part of the feed because they click through the highlights, and that's what I do want to talk about right now. Highlights are important because sometimes people don't have time to just scroll through your entire grid. As y'all see, I have 600 and some odd photos. Ain't nobody got time to be looking through all that, but I want to get the quick, fast, and information that I need to decide if I want to follow this person. That's why I have specific highlights. I have a few more, but I like to make sure that they're precise, what I'm talking about. I live in Birmingham, beauty, fashion, career, behind the scenes. Boom, straight to the point. Then you get to see a little glimpse of the feed, see what it looks like. You've got some carousel photos, meaning there's more than one photo within one post. You see you have the real icon here, and then just like regular photo content. So this is just generally what it looks like. I'm not going to go into insights and all that because we'll be sitting up here for hours, and I'm trying to stick to the script, okay? But I did want to give some background because I think this is important before we even get into the importance of Reels. Okay, so what are Instagram Reels? I have a little snippet here, but generally they're just 15 to 30 second video content on Instagram. That's what it is. The benefit of Reels is that right now Instagram are really pushing Reels, which I'm going to talk about next, which are a benefit. So what I mean by pushing Reels is it doesn't really have an algorithm in Instagram per se. So Reels, you can post the Reel right now, 20 days from now, it can go viral. And you're like, wait, what happened there? Because for those of you that don't know, Instagram, when you post on the feed, it has a shelf life of about 3 days, something like that, barely. That's on a good time. Really, it's like 24 hours to 48 hours max. So the benefit with Reels is that you can post something now and it can still catch that algorithm like weeks, months, days later, which is a huge benefit on any social media platform. Because we all, I'm sure we've heard, the algorithm hates us, like it's horrible, like you can't do anything. That's why get on Reels, because it's gonna change the game. You're gonna get more views, you can have fun, creative, unique, all that type of content on Reels because people are just kind of getting a feel for it, trying to see what is it all about. You can get into different variety of music, audio, you can do various different types of Reels, and I'm going to show you a few examples after this, but this is just a few of the benefits. But to me, the number one thing is the shelf life. Because as a creative online, I'm also an influencer and content creator. For me, I want to utilize specific tools and resources on these platforms to make sure that I'm utilizing every tool that's going to push my content up to the front. I want to get on the explore page. I want to get the views. I want to get the comments. I want to get the engagement. To me, engagement, of course, reigns supreme, regardless of what brands say. Engagement is number one, because if I can talk to my audience and they're going to do something that I tell them to do, that's going to reign supreme, even if it's just 5 people. I'd rather have 5 loyal people that are going to do what I say rather than 50 people that are just looking because they're like, oh, that's cute, but I'm never going to purchase what she says, right? So keep that in mind as well. It's not about the following. Yes, following matters. It does. But only to a certain extent. It matters what type of following that you have. Are they people that are going to engage with their content? Are there people that are actually going to purchase something that you're going to present in your business? Are they going to give you feedback, to give you that research? If they're not people that you want to follow you, regardless of the amount. So, let me ask, who has used Reels?
We used it one time.
Yes, I know
Twice.
Course has. I love Instagram Reels. I need to. Everybody, oh, y'all use Instagram Reels, chat. Well, that's all right. I hope I see some more after
That's
this.
why they're here. That's why we're here.
So here's the Instagram Reels tab. So if we go back to this slide, you have the different icons here. So this is the grid. This is the Instagram Reels tab. This is Instagram TV. This is the guide, which is also a new feature that hasn't gotten a lot of light because of the Reels, but guides, and then this is like save things. So we're gonna go into this tab right here so you guys can see what that looks like. So this is what the Instagram Reels tab looks like. So if you don't put it on your grid, you can opt to not put it on your grid. I'm gonna show you a video of what that looks like, but you can opt to not put your reel content on your feed. Say you're like, I didn't think of a photo, or it just doesn't fit the aesthetics, or whatever the case may be, you can just have it housed here. But even if you put it on your grid, you can also have it housed here on your Instagram Reel feed. Some people curate specific content for the Reel tab, so maybe they have specific photos that they only use. Me, I just kind of make sure that it fits within my feed, even if the Reels tab kind of looks crazy. That doesn't bother me, because we still get the views in Reels, okay? So this is what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few examples. I made sure to put the video icon so I know it's video. So what I did is I just screenshot it so you guys can see. So here I am clicking the Reels tab, going down to show you that there's so many different ways you can use Reels. I'm going to tap into a few of these so you guys can see what they look like, but this is just various. So I have views from 8,000 to 20,000 to 14 million. I had a reel that went viral. So there's so many different, like the amount of views I get on here does not compare like to anything. I get so many views by just creating reels. All right, so here's another one, but this one I'm going to show you an example. Let's see which one this is.
Here we go.
Here we are.
So here's some of my must-have items for when I'm editing a YouTube video: my laptop stand from Amazon, my MacBook Pro, my lacy external hard drive. Y'all, I couldn't live without an external hard drive from Amazon as well. My memory card case holder, which I love, also from Amazon. AirPods, blue light glasses, Amazon, okay? And then we also need the editor herself. So make sure you guys comment below if you want more behind the scenes.
Okay, so that was an example of behind-the-scenes content. So it's really fast, and as you see, some of them are slower, some of them are faster. You have 15 to 30 seconds to do whatever you're doing. So with something like this, yes, I was talking, but really the benefit is just seeing what I have, right? So yes, I did the talk over and it was a little fast, but even if someone was just interested to see, okay, what tools does she use as a YouTuber in order to edit her videos? They can see that even if there was no audio. It would still be super beneficial. So you're seeing I have a laptop stand, my laptop, I I have my external hard drive, memory card case. Like, you're still seeing the tools even if there's no audio. So with something like this, I could just put sound. I could have put a song with it, a viral song, which is important. Trendy songs also help you get a little bit more engagement on your reels. So with this way, it's already showing, okay, I love that she has this nice setup. I'm interested in being a YouTuber. Let me see what tools she used. And then also you can put a caption, right? So I didn't show it in this one, but I'm gonna show you in a second. You can put a caption. So in that caption, I put where the specific things in here are linked. They're on my Amazon store. So not only am I promoting me being a YouTuber, this is how professional I am in my YouTube career, but also here's where you can purchase the links affiliately. Or if you're a business owner, hey, I have these new shirts, I've been trying out, I'll show you different shirts, this is cute, this is great. In the caption, this is where you can purchase it. Here's my storefront. Here's my discount code. So that's kind of how I utilize it from behind the scenes. And also, it's just nice to see what happens behind the scenes, right? So if you watch my YouTube videos, you're like, oh, I just love her content, like, but what does it look like? Reveal us what you got going on, right? So this is so people can see, okay, it's more than just, I get on camera and I'm like, oh, it's cute, do my makeup, that's nice. It's the real work that happens behind the scenes too. Here's another example. Make sure the volume went too high. Startled me.
No, I promise that, and even it's been a witness these past few months, and me knowing I promise that, and
Okay, so with this one, I'm using like trendy audio. So some audios is like music, so it's like songs we all know or have heard of. But sometimes it's literally just like blabber, like this, right? But what's nice about this is something unique about this content. So one, I'm showing them one I think is hilarious, perfect. But I'm showing them what in my industry that I'm an expert in that industry. So how brands sound when they ask for various types of content with no budget, and think I'm not going to negotiate my work. One, I'm showing, hello brands, I would love to negotiate my price because you're not paying me $2 for what you want. But also I'm showing influencers like this is what you should be doing. You should be negotiating. In the caption, I give negotiation tips. So now this is the way for me to show, hey, I'm establishing my expertise in this industry. I'm also showing brands that y'all need to stop playing with me, and I'm also showing influencers like y'all should step up to the plate and let me show you how. Let me show you how, because sometimes this is more appealing to the eye, more catchy, like more people are gonna watch this and see it, versus me just get down there and say, 3 steps to negotiate. Like sometimes that works, don't get me wrong, it definitely works, and I think you should do that as well. But sometimes making it funny and doing something just like kind of out of the ordinary will capture the audience onto your page and onto your content in order for you to get them to that caption or get them to your store, to your links, and then they can purchase, and then they can interact with you, and then they can follow you and invest in you and your business. I have a few more. Let me know if this is helpful. Get some
Yes.
Okay. So I was trying to decide how I wanted to explain the different types of reels, but I figured I'd just kind of show some. Hello influencer, it's your lawyer influencer here to spill some legal tea. Just because you have a talent agent, manager, etc., doesn't mean you shouldn't be reading your own contracts. In fact, you should always read your contracts, even if you have someone like me review them. Because at the end of the day, you're liable. Just you. So again, adding a little funny element, but I'm also establishing my expertise and telling them you could work with me. That was kind of slick under there. I don't know if everybody caught that. I'm saying, hey, this is something I can help you with. But even when you work with me, you still should review your contracts. And then also in the caption is where I go into a little bit more detail on how to review your contracts, why you should review your contracts, no matter if you're working with me, an agency, a manager, etc. So this is another way to do it. Also here, you see I put text up. So Instagram now has a feature, before I was doing these reels, where text can automatically come up. So you can utilize that feature, which is great. But even with that, sometimes I wanted to customize the language just a little bit because maybe what I said didn't really make sense when I was writing it. Sometimes when you're slang and you're talking, it's like, that didn't make sense. So I wanted to make sure when I typed it out, say someone's not necessarily listening to what I'm saying, I want them to be able to read it and still get the value in the content. Hello influencer, it's your and here's another one. This is more of like a behind the scenes.
Good Sunday, y'all. So right now I'm rocking Sensational Ella. I loaded the dishwasher, did some laundry, and in my work bag I have a coffee, water, laptop, notebooks, chargers, snacks, all the things you need, right? And my co-working space is super safe and everybody by all the COVID regulations and guidelines. And I mean, she's gorgeous, right? Gorgeous. I get so much more done at a co-working space. So I love to-do lists because I'm way more productive. And blue light glasses, by the way, measure key. I check my Slack, my Google Calendar, my email account, update ClickUp, and all of the things so I can have a productive week. What are you up to?
So again, I'm showing the behind the scenes. I did a lot of different promos there. I talked about my co-working space. I talked about to-do lists. I talked about the various platforms that I use to help me run my business. Google Calendar, ClickUp, Slack, all those things. And then also in the caption, I talked about a little bit more about like how I'm productive, what helps me be productive. And then I was like, how are you? How's your day? So I'm adding a call to action. That's something I do in every single one of my captions. I usually just put comment below. I ain't got time to try to beat around the bush. Comment below what you did yesterday. You know, so that's what I did here. I did it in voice mode as well as putting it in the caption as well. So I love behind the scenes, and I also have noticed that my audience likes behind the scenes. So something with any piece of content you put on your platform is see what your audience likes. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to utilize the poll feature in your stories or even on your actual feed or in your reels. Ask them, hey, this is kind of what I've been doing, or I'm starting this new business, and this is where I'm starting from the ground up. Do y'all want to see what that looks like? I'm testing out this different feature within my app development process. Like, would you like to see what that looks like? Would you like to see what it looked like to pitch a startup? Would you like to see that? Just don't be afraid to talk to your audience, because that's how they get invested. Again, you want them invested not only in your business, but in you. That's why people buy. I buy from, especially small businesses. If I don't know you, and I don't know nothing about you, or you won't refer to me, I'm less likely to purchase. Just simply for the fact that I don't have any type of connection with you, when I could just go to a bigger business and just get it from them because of their well-knownness. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're any better, because they're not usually. I like small businesses because there's a level of passion that a small business owner has. It's something there, and to me it's because I get to know the person behind the business. That's what it is. Any questions? Any questions? Yes.
And you may want to wait till later, but so I'm not on TikTok.
Yeah.
But I did just listen to this podcast on Girl Boss Radio that some clothing brand who she grew in the pandemic on TikTok. But she was talking about how important it is to get the music that's trending, and then you just said the same thing.
Yep.
So can you talk to that a little bit, like why that's important, how if you're just getting into Reels, I don't know where everybody else is in the process, but if you're just getting into it, like what's the best way to like figure that out? Because I know TikTok, you can go on and kind of, you're in TikTok where that's all it is.
Right.
But Reels, it's kind of harder.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that's great, and that just made me think of a screenshot that I didn't do. That's a great point. So honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100. I just Googled what are the current Instagram Reel songs, or go to TikTok to see what's viral over there, because usually what's trending over there, Instagram gonna catch up in a little bit. So Instagram be a little bit late because ironically Reels look just like TikTok. So because of that, Instagram is a little bit a lag when it comes to trending songs. So sometimes I go to TikTok, Google, but also if you go within the song. So if you see, can you see the cursor right here has my name, but if there was a song there, you can click that down at the bottom right under the caption. You can click that and it'll bring up the Reels tab with all the other people that have utilized that song or that audio, and you can see what is the, usually like the first video in the left corner will have the highest viewed video. If you see that and say it's 1 million, you want to use that audio. So that's the trick. Utilize songs, audio, sound effects, etc. that have very high volume and views in that tab. So once you click that audio, it'll bring you to all the people that have utilized the audio, and you can see, okay, it's only getting like 10 views in the sound, I might not necessarily want to use that. But then again, you could be the person that makes that viral. So just because it's not necessarily trending yet doesn't mean that you shouldn't use it. But if you're trying to immediately grow or like really become on the explore page, that's gonna be your best bet, is to utilize audio and sounds that are already kind of viral, if that makes sense.
So just go to brands you like and see and see if they have Reels, and then do that.
That's what I do. So either I'm going to like brands I like, brands I want to work with, or my colleagues, or say there's a reel that I really like, I'm just trying to scrolling on Reels to see what I like. If there's a reel I like, I'll just go to that audio and then see, is there anybody else that used this? How did they use this? Also, while we're kind of talking about that audio Reels tab, something that I like to do is like make a note of how people do a transition. So I might not necessarily use that song, use that audio, or kind of use how they did it, but say they did like a spin transition, and I'm like, oh, I really like that. How could I utilize that in my business, right? So that's how I get additional like creativity and inspiration, by seeing other people's reels, not necessarily exactly use their audio, but use like a transition or something like that. So, but yeah. There's no magic to that, but I definitely think clicking the audio and seeing which ones are already viral and utilizing that audio is going to automatically push you a little bit up when it comes to views. That was a great question, actually. Yeah. got one more example. I wanted to give y'all 5.
I'm coming in.
Okay. So this one,
I'm coming in.
there's the caption.
This song.
Okay, so song's super catchy. But this was a song that was kind of going, that was trending for a second there. So I'm like, okay, how could I utilize this in a way where I can get people to the caption? Because I was promoting a new contract template, I think, at the time. It's a little bit older, so I can't recall. But so I just utilized in this video. I recorded this video like a year before. So it's nothing wrong with repurposing content. I do it all the time. If you really scroll through my grid, don't be my business, but if you scroll through my grid, you will see this outfit looks just like this one. It's the same. It was the same day. I just take the photos. Sometimes I just like to space it out so I'm still utilizing all the content. Because I take a lot of photos and I may only like 3 in that moment, but 2 weeks from now I'm like, oh no, that was cute too. I'll post that one. That was cute too. So don't be afraid to repurpose content. And that's what I did here. So what I did is I just wrote the legal T on influencer contract, read the caption, boom. I put all the information that I needed them to utilize in the caption. But what I like about doing it like this is that you can still read the caption and scroll through the caption while you have the reel up. And in Instagram's mind, they're like, oh, somebody's still rewatching. They keep rewatching. They love this. They're going to push this. It's great. But really, they just sitting there reading the caption. So that's another way to utilize Instagram Reels to get that higher engagement, is because the longer somebody is watching that video and they're constantly rewatching it and they watch it to the entirety of that video, you're gonna get higher engagement as well. So this is a little trick that I do as well. And this is just super easy because like I said, I already have the video. I ain't have to do the little talking point, none. I ain't have to do all that. I think, again, that's great. No shade, no tea, but this is another way where you can utilize Reels. Okay, so how to create the reel? Because there was people that didn't have their hand up. I'm sad. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to show you in a second how we got here. But in the top right corner, you'll see a plus sign. So when you click that plus sign, this is what you see, right? So you post as the grid feed, story highlight, Instagram TV, reel, guide, and then promotion. So reel is what you want to click when you're creating a reel. Or another way you can do it, I didn't include this in the PowerPoint, but another way you can create a reel is, again, going to that sound element. So at the bottom of the reel that you like, click that sound element, and then when you click to the sound reel tab, it'll say use audio. So you can click that so the audio will automatically be added to the reel that you're going to create. I know that sounded a little confusing, so I can run that back in a minute. Okay, so if the video is silent, I think this should be silent. Okay, so I'm just going to walk you through how to get there. So click that right corner, click reel, and this is what you see when you click reel. So let me pause here for a second. This is what you see when you click reel. So on the left side of the reel tab, you'll see different tools. So those are different tools you can utilize within your reel. So first you have length. They have 15 and 30 seconds. I think they're going to increase it to a minute because TikTok did it. And like I said, reels look just like TikTok. Real familiar. So right now it's only 15 or 30 seconds. Audio, that's where you would add your audio on top of the video, or you can pre-edit the video. I use an app called InShot to edit my vertical video content. YouTube, I use iMovie, just throw it out there. But sometimes I use iMovie for Reels, but it's rare because usually I'm on the go and I don't like iMovie in the app, but that's a rant. So the audio, you can utilize audio that you input already, or this is where you click to find the songs. So like we were saying, maybe you made a note, okay, I know these are the top 3 trending songs at the moment. Let me go on audio, search the song, and attach it. Speed, you can speed up the video. So maybe you need something to go faster or slower, kind of like the video showed when I was walking. I slowed it down. I did it outside the app, but you can do it in the app. You can definitely do it in the app. Effects, this is just like filters. I don't think I've ever used a filter. Don't mark me on that one, but I don't think I've ever used a filter, but you can definitely use different filters and reels, and I think it can provide different emphasis on different things that you want to promote. And then the timer, this is the key. I'm actually going to show you an example of how to utilize the timer. I think I showed how to click on all these things, but the timer helps you when you're recording right within the app. So there's the audio feature. If you want to add the audio, click there. You can speed it up, slow it down, all those things. There is the effects. There you go. See, you have different effects just like in Snapchat or Instagram story. I'm going to go back in a second because I accidentally recorded something for y'all see. But this is the timer. So with the timer, what you do is you want to set a specific amount of time for you to record. So if it's a specific song and when the beat drops, you want to wait, you want to do something different, that's where you utilize the timer. So here, I'm going to show you an example of that. I should have did it last time, but we're going to go through it. So So I'm just gonna record something random, me snapping. So you see how the timer gave you 3 seconds to get in place. So here I'm doing my first little clip, whatever you wanna do in that clip for the 8 seconds that you had. Bada bing, bada boom. Then the next clip, you restart a different set of, see, you can shorten it. 3, 2, 1, do the next step, and then this one I'm clapping. Maybe it was 2 different videos I wanted to connect for some reason. That's what it is. So this is what it looks like when you complete that. So say the beat drops when I want to do something different when the beat drops, and I want to start clapping. So then the beat drops, and then I'm clapping. So that's how people have the video content where it's like first they're like standing here, and then the next moment they're like standing like this. They'll put the timer on and they'll do this, and then they'll turn, right, for the next clip. Here, so this is what it looks like when you are done with the video, and you click. Let's go back, clap, snap. So when you click share to, it's gonna bring you to another screen. Here, yay, you can write your little caption, you can post it on the stories. Share to feed, that's when you can share it on the grid or not put it on the grid. What I will say, if you, right now, they change it all the time, but right now if you post this on your grid and you take it off the grid and you put it only in the Reels tab, you cannot put it back on your grid, right now. Some people have the feature that they can, but not everybody. So if you take it, if right now you don't put it on your feed, I don't think you have access to do it again, but I know for a fact, once you say also post on the feed, and then you remove it from your feed, it only is housed in the Reels tab. Not necessarily a bad thing. I had a viral video that had 14 million views. I accidentally took it off my feed and I wanted to scream, but it still kept getting views. So it doesn't necessarily affect you, but don't risk it because I was stressed. I don't know what happened. I thought I could put it back and you can't. So just, if you're gonna put it on the feed, go ahead and do it. Just let it stay there until they allow everyone to have access to put it back on the feed. I don't even know why they did that.
I have another question. So you said if you wanted to do something when it drops the beat, so can you have the music playing so you can hear, or you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just didn't have music in this one. But yeah, so the 3, 2, 1, it's like a ding, 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 and then the song, whatever audio you have it on, is gonna play the music and then it'll stop. So then when you ding, 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 and then you like,
the music starts.
So yeah, the song will still be playing during that time. That's a great question. Also, something I want to point out is the draft feature. So you can create a ton of reels, make sure you save them. But you can create reels and save them in the draft. I'm gonna show you. If you were just gonna automatically post it, I would click share. But if you want to save it in the draft, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So then you go to the reels tab, and then there are your drafts. So they stay right there. All the drafts stay there, and then you delete it, you just select and delete. But that's where you keep all your drafts. The only thing with drafts is Instagram is an app. It is a computer, so sometimes things get deleted. So I would hate for you to create this amazing video, because I know y'all gonna do it. Then you go on your drafts and they go, and all your videos are gone. Okay, it's embarrassing, and it's up. So just make sure you save it. And on there is a save feature. Let me see if I can. Right here at the top, that's how you save it. So you save it, and when you save it from here, it's gonna have an Instagram logo. So keep that in mind. That's why sometimes people just like to record things outside of the app. But with Instagram, it will have the Instagram logo. But a pro tip you can do is you can screen record this. So you can screen record it and just crop the video. So screen record, and you see I was screen recording, and then just crop the video so you don't see like the black lines, and then you're able to use the video without the Instagram thing. I do the same thing for TikTok, so just keep that in mind. So when you see people post on Instagram and TikTok the same video and there's no logos, you're like, how did she do that? She screen recorded it. That's what they did.
So when you went to the share, you could see it actually gave you the option between either reels or stories. And if I also remember correctly, on like your homepage where you have your highlights can also be stories as well as reels, right? So do you mix the two? Like, do you have some stories and some reels in your Behance AL, and do you use those like differently?
Yeah, so I don't use them differently, I use them the same. So I put stories, anything I post in my story, if it relates to a category, I have my highlight, and if it's something I want people to keep seeing, then I put it on my highlight. So I repost all of my content on my story just to get that extra eyes to the content. And then I'll put it in a highlight if I see fit. But yeah, you can put reels in the story, but when you, just make sure you also save it in the Reels tab. So when you share it to the story, it doesn't necessarily always go to the Reels tab, right? So if you go here, so if you click stories, click share the story, if you click share the story, you just want to also make sure you share it to your Reels tab, because that's where you're going to get like the highest engagement. So, and then also that way you can control if it's on the feed or not. So if you go to story, it may go to the Reels tab, but it may not go to your feed, and we don't necessarily have access to put it back on the grid. So if you're thinking, say you didn't highlight this and you accidentally had that unchecked, share it to the story, go to the Reels tab, and you're trying to put it on the feed, that's it. And you can save the video and redo it, but then now you have the Instagram logo, which is fine. But also, just kind of like the underlying pro tip, once you post content on social media, specifically Instagram, and you edit it, it recalculates in the algorithm. So say your content was doing well. You're like, oh, this video is going good, this photo is doing good, I'm killing it. Then you edit it, you're like, well, I misspelled something. Something's like, it's some big change, but like something small. And then you re-edit it and you're like, wait, all my views stopped, all my comments stopped, what happened? Instagram thinks you redid something and they're like, wait, we don't know who to send this to anymore. So it starts over. So just kind of keep that in mind as well.
So if you add in your own music, does it need to be like a certain format?
Nope, no certain format. No certain format at all. I've seen all types of just sound effects. You saw I just did like talking over it, any type of music, any type of beat. You can pretty much put anything on there. Just I'll add this little tidbit for people that it may relate to. If you are an influencer or a creator and you're working with a brand and you're using mainstream music, be careful because there may be a copyright. Now I'm not turning it on. There may be a copyright infringement issue there. So keep that in mind. A lot of times when you're working with brands or even as a business, if you're promoting something, somebody may have an issue and you're profiting off of their song. Essentially, that's what it is. You're profiting off of their works and their liveliness. Therefore, it's copyright. So just kind of play that easy.
So if you use it from the app, is all of that music?
So technically, from my understanding, it's not legal advice. Now we're stepping into lawyer territory. Although I'm a lawyer, I'm not your lawyer, and although I'm licensed, this is not legal advice. Okay, educational and informed purposes only. Disclaimer over. But technically, Instagram should be held liable. However, you're not completely at fault because Instagram has the terms and conditions. It's boring. No one wants to read it. I read it because it's just what I do. But definitely make sure you read it. But technically, it should be good. It should be good. And it's only really if someone tells you that there's an issue. So if you're utilizing my content, and that people do it, and I have no problem sending them a cease and desist letter or sliding in the DM and saying, it looks like you're unlawfully using my content, please delete it. But until you get that, really, you're at ease because it's not like some random person who's like, oh, you're using their copyright. It's like, who are you? You don't own it. So if you're not the owner, it's like it really doesn't matter. But once the owner does have an issue with something, you're just playing a game right there with a little bit of risk. So just keep that in mind. But it's mostly for like influencers and brands right now. But I can see where a business owner may get kind of in the mud there too. Any other questions? Miss Christina?
How do you go viral?
How do you go viral?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and share the tea. There is no tea. There's no tea. It just happens. Honestly, like you never know, but using the specific tools, like using trending songs, using hashtags that are trending, and hashtags, I'm not gonna go into hashtags, it's a whole different type of strategy, but strategizing in all aspects of the Instagram platform is going to help you go viral. But even with that, people are doing that every day. People are posting 2-3 times a day and still not getting viral. It just really, to me, is like the luck of the draw. It's really the luck of the draw. But I also think seeing what is going viral on TikTok, that's what I did. I saw a video that was on TikTok, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. Let me just do it on Instagram because I hadn't seen it on Instagram really. I saw a few people that I was like, oh, let me just try it again. And do it in a different, natural way. The video I did, I was literally just saying affirmations. It's from a song, so the song was kind of trending. But I was just saying affirmations in the mirror, but like I literally do that. Like before this, I was in the mirror like, oh, you gonna speak to these people, you got this value. So I just did something that felt natural to me, and other people did the same thing, but for me, something resonated with other people and it went viral. So
That's the 14 million one?
that's the 14 million. I literally just was like saying the song, and it had I am healthy, I am wealthy, and it was just, that was it. And I was when I posted it, I almost deleted it. I was like, this ain't even nothing. But a couple days later, I was like, ooh, 50,000. A week later, ooh, 1 million. So it just, you really don't know. But again, it's because Reels, they constantly are keeping your content like in the algorithm in some way or so maybe somebody else had started another video that was doing pretty good, so then they pushed my video into people's recommendations and on the explore page and things like that. So it's really just the timing. It's really just right time, right place, unfortunately. But it's not all about going viral. So it was great, it was a blessing, I'm not shading it. But the thing with that is like I don't know those people. Like we were talking in the beginning, they don't know me, I don't know them. They're just calling me because it's a cute little video. Like I don't do that content all the time. So it took me a minute to say, okay, am I going to continue to do the content that I've been doing for the audience that is here and the audience that I do want to attract? Or am I going to switch it up and try to gain this little, no, it's okay. So I lost. I think I started the year with 18,000, I think. I got to like 48 and I lost 8,000. Was it tough? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I didn't want people to stay on my platform to expect a piece of content that I wasn't going to keep doing. It was fun, it was great, but also keep in mind, it's kind of a tidbit. When you do post any type of content, think it could go viral. So I was glad that it wasn't something that was out of my character, not that I would post it or anything like that, but I was okay with what went viral. That makes sense? So it was like, okay, people know me as someone doing affirmations, having fun in the mirror, like that's cool with me, that's great, like self-care, okay, self-love, we love it. But always keep that in mind. So although you see something trending, if it doesn't relate to your brand identity or your business, like it's not worth it. It's not worth it, even if you could go viral. Throwing that out there, not me preaching. Any other questions? Y'all shy?
Oh, I can think of some.
Okay, well thank y'all so much for having me.
Wait, I have another question.
Okay.
I'd forgotten and I was trying to remember what it was.
Okay.
So I know, so you're in the lawyer influencer world,
Mm-hmm.
but if somebody is more like a brick and mortar store,
Yeah.
or maybe a co-working space, or I'm not selling me.
Yeah.
So, do you have any different tactics for reels that you see that are for more brand, like the difference between a brand? I mean, I know you're a brand, so I'm not saying you're not a brand. Like just the difference between a brand that's an individual and a brand that is like a brick and mortar.
Yeah. And from my opinion, it's the same.
Okay.
So it's not, so the behind the scenes, it might not just be about you as a business owner. Maybe it's behind the scenes of, let's talk about teamwork and team building. Let me show y'all how I conducted that with my team. How about you go behind the scenes with the front desk person so they can show you what they do the other day? How about you go behind the scenes with some of our coworkers that are members of our co-working space so you can see their perspective. So now, in a way, it's slightly different, but to me, it's always the same. You can promote a business the same way we promote a brand. You can promote an individual the same way you promote a group. Mm-hmm. It's just what you're saying to attract that audience. So if I want more members in the co-working space, I'm not only going to show, okay, this is what it looks like, but I'm going to show why you need to work at ours versus other people. Our location is great. Let's go to lunch. You showing that, and I know, I feel like in my as an influencer, I'm like constantly, like I understand that connection, but I can see where it might be hard, but it's the same. So if you show me your behind the scenes, which you have done, which I loved, I was able to see it's more than just, oh, she's just a business owner running like a co-working space. It's cute, but like, it's like, oh no, she has a real life and she puts in real effort in here. Let me see what this co-working space is about. Mm-hmm. Oh, where is she going to lunch? Oh, it's right downstairs from the co-working space. Let me check out that co-working space because I know that I work so hard and I don't have time to pack lunch. I just want a space where I can just zone out and do my work and I just walk right downstairs to get lunch. Mm-hmm. So that's also you promoting your business in like a non-traditional way. Also something you can do, kind of like what I was doing with something like the sit down talking things, is when you're doing the tips and tricks. So you're like, okay, I know you all have been home, I've been home too, but come on with me to my co-working space. Let's sit down. Here's the area that I love to work at. Here's another area that I love to work at. Okay, but the art is great too. We love it here. Then we take a quick little selfie. So like, there's a way to do that and like promote any type of service that you have. It feels uncomfortable and it feels unorganic, but there's so many creative ways, and that's going to speak to more people than just sitting there saying 5 reasons why you need to work co-working space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y'all like, okay, I already knew that. You know what I'm saying? But let me see. Put a visualization to what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Anybody else have a question? I hope I explained that well.
Yeah.
But to me, it's the same. A brand, a business, individual, a group, it's all the same. Whether you have an online business, you have brick and mortar, being on social media is a business card. So anything you put on your business card, okay, I'm an engineer, software engineer, app development, how can you make that a visualization so people can relate? What does that look like? Not only the behind the scenes of getting to know me, but what do I do? What does that mean? I don't know. That's not what I do. So I would love to see, like, what does that mean in your day-to-day life? How do you help people? What type of clients are you looking for? Why? Who's not a good client? Why? How to become a good client? Because I want to work with you. How? You know, those different questions that you have to think. Well, thank y'all. Y'all don't have any other questions. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming today. So we will follow up with an email, and it will have Kameron's email address if you wanted to reach out to her. It should also have a recording
back doing live and hybrid and whatever. So I hope that it's there. And also a link if you're interested in Connect. We'd love to have you. The first 2 weeks are free. You can sign up and cancel before you get charged. But it is a great way to meet new people in the city. And if y'all are interested in co-working, we would love for you to try us out for a day, see what it's like. There's a few members here who could say how awesome it is.
Yeah, and that's what I did. I did a day pass, and I was like, yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's pretty great. We think our members are pretty great. But besides just great people, it is a really great place to get away from home and actually be productive. So thank y'all for coming, and just continue to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, for events that will be coming back. We're working on a new series later in the summer. So thank y'all.
Yay.
Stop
Thank you for having me.
How do I stop this and then save it for 24 hours? Like,
Stay right there.
Should I put the PowerPoint back up?
Yes, please.
Okay,
do I press save? Do I press save? Do I end it right here?
You can walk back. Let's see. What?
It's not that. It's
wait.
stop.
Yeah, that's stop. Yeah, I really want these on my Instagram.
Should I just do it?
For real.
Yeah.